If you're looking for an effective way to substantially increase profitability and enjoyment at work, you're watching the right video. Did you know highly engaged teams achieve 21% greater profitability? I don't know about you, but that's a pretty amazing way to increase profitability. This is largely in part due to high levels of motivation, low absenteeism, and low employee turnover. On the flip side, poor company culture leads to a disengaged workforce. And research shows that organizations with high numbers of disengaged employees have 18% lower productivity and 15% lower profitability. So now we have a possibility for 21% increase in profitability and a 15% decrease in profitability if we have a bad company culture. I'm going to give you 3 simple steps to fix a bad company culture so you can increase your profitability. But before I do that, let me paint you a picture. Imagine merging 4 companies into one. 4 company cultures, 4 different sets of leadership, 4 different SOPs and process and procedures, 4 different business philosophies. You get the point. It's a disaster in the making, and it's very difficult. Well, that's exactly what I had to do. As a CEO of a company, I had to merge these 4 companies into one. And each of these companies had good company cultures as individuals. But when they were merged together, let's just say there wasn't a lot of peace. And we knew we needed to take immediate action. These 3 steps I'm going to discuss helped us right the ship and create an excellent company culture. Simply put, culture is what you tolerate and what you do not tolerate in a company. So if you allow your employees to show up late for meetings, to come unprepared, to be disrespectful to their peers, to be on their cell phone while they're at the conference table, to be distracted and not focus on what the agenda is, well, that's your company culture. On the flip side, if you don't tolerate those things and you have high expectations, I expect people to be prepared. I expect people to give good suggestions. Let's be innovative. Let's critically think. Well, then that's your company culture. The first step to righting the ship, number 1, is to evaluate. I want you to evaluate your current environment. What are the things that you're tolerating that you should no longer tolerate? What are your now expectations going forward? And I want you to write them down in an exhaustive list. You know, I'm sure it's pretty easy to brainstorm the things that are going on. But if you can't think of a lot, go to your team. Hey, how is your interactions with your colleagues? What would you like to see better? Do you feel like you are able to collaborate well with your teammates? Ask those types of questions. Go to a high performer on your team, one that shows up on time, does excellent work, is innovative, isn't afraid to share their opinion, get feedback, take on criticism. Go to them and ask what they expect and what they see as the current company culture. Number 2, I want you to formulate an actual formal apology in writing to your team. Now, you're not going to give this to your staff in writing, and I'll talk to you about how you'll deliver this in a second. But I want you to write it because it actually helps you formulate and fill in all the gaps. It's going to start something like, at XYZ company, we have tolerated some things that has contributed to our poor company culture. Those things being, we allow disrespect and toxicity with other staff members. People are rude. They don't give constructive criticism, they just give criticisms. The apology is going to look something like this. It has come to my attention that our company culture is not where it needs to be. It is going to be my intention to focus on creating a better work environment, stronger company culture, so we can all come to work and enjoy what we do. Things that we have tolerated in the past, like showing up to work late, being disrespectful to our peers, not giving constructive feedback, will no longer be tolerated. As the CEO of this company, I want to apologize to you for this poor company culture. I am sorry that I have allowed this to progress as far as it has, and we are no longer going to go this route as a company, and we'll make the corrections to become a company that has a stellar company culture. Okay, now that you've written that letter, have an all hands on deck meeting with your entire company, because everybody needs to hear this. Everybody on that team is affected by the culture. And they can all contribute or they can all take away from. I want you to pretty much summarize that letter. I want you to set forth the things that you have been tolerating, and I want you to speak from the heart. Look, when our staff, when our team members hear us being vulnerable with something, it actually builds your leadership, your strength as a leader with them. So this is your opportunity to say, look, I made a mistake and I've tolerated this far too long. In order for us to take this company to the next level, to meet our goals for the future, we need to fix our company culture, and it starts today. So from this point forward, we are going to be intentional about our company culture. And I am sorry that I've allowed it to progress the way it has, but that stops today. They're going to love you for it as a leader. Some of them, if they don't, well, then you've just identified somebody that is a detractor to your company culture. And then step number 3, and probably the most important, if you do not do this, but you've done the other 2, it will completely fall apart. It will fail. And that is lead by example. If you expect your team to come prepared for a meeting, then you therefore have to come to the meeting prepared. If you expect your team to be respectful to each other, to give constructive feedback, then you also have to do that. So whatever those expectations that you set forth, you have to lead by example. They are all looking for you for that leadership. And once you've completed these 3 steps, you will see a drastic change and improvement in your company culture. And of course, the actual result in all of this is increased profitability, decrease employee turnover. As you see, poor company cultures don't only lose bad employees in turnover, they also lose good. The great employees, the A players, are the ones that usually leave. The B and C players are the ones that stick around. And I'm successful because of the people that I have around me. And the people that I have around me are oftentimes smarter and better at what they do. They are A players, not B or C players. If you found this helpful, why not share it with a friend? And be sure to like and subscribe so you won't miss the next one.